Hello Aries, kia ora koutou katoa, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is for you Aries, yes it is, for Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus. So whether Aries falls under either one of those signs, this is for you. So welcome to my channel. So this is for September 2021. So today is Wednesday the 8th of September that I've recorded this. So this does not mean that it's not for, even though it's the 8th, it's not going to be matter for the rest of the month or for the month that's just passed. So there's a sense of, I feel like I'm really tired or not exhausted, but I can't be bothered explaining or talking. So it's not just me. I feel like it's more like, you know, I'm picking up on your energy that something is like, you know what, I'm over this, I'm tired, or I'm just going to like take a break or something. So there's a sense of maybe, you know, just slowing down, taking it easier, you know, with things, and, you know, not overthinking things, and just like saying no when it's meant to be a no, and saying yes when you're meant to say yes. When I say meant, it's like because you feel like it, because you know what, you can. There's that sort of attitude, and it's not being, you know, like bitchy about it. It's just like, well, or planning, you know, or deflecting on someone, and it's just like, or anyone or anything. It's just like, you know what? I just need a break, or I just need to do this, or I want to do this. It's not so much even a need, it's a want. It's a like, so there's maybe something like that is, you know, going through, that's maybe running through your mind or going through your mind. So anyway, going back to my intro, this is just a remember to everybody, a reminder there that these reads are general. So the messages that come through, you know, if they're not going to resonate with everybody. So just take what does resonate with you and leave what doesn't. Because you know what, we have free will, you know, to do that. And if you know, and check out what your other signs are saying for you, because it may be that there's something in either one of those other signs, or you know, that has something that may bring this together for you, or be more bring more clarity or direction for you. Okay, so depending on what you know, what is happening with you in your life at the moment, whether it be like with the sun sign is on your about your personality that you may be working on, or an emotional thing with the moon, or the rising sign on a spirit or a soul sign basically, and Venus, where it could be something with Venus. But generally the reads that come through are general, and it kind of like works across the board in a way, in that sense. So just, you know, it's just a very loose explanation, basic one there as to what I mean by that. So the other thing is you know, I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and also leave me a comment, a like, or share the video, just to let me know. I'm always curious to see how things pan out for people, okay, as with these reads. So I'm just going to do this one here, see what this deck here is, the Oracle Dragon Fade deck. That I'm using today. I'm going to use the Dragon Oracle Tarot, the Celtic Dragon Tarot deck here as well. So the first card out here, that one's in reverse, which was that one, is Wild Pure Heart. This one here is, I should turn that around for you, sorry about that. There we go. And this one here is Tatsuya is Have Courage. So there's something in there. So obviously it's like going from a, you know, that pure love or heart energy as you know, with your courage basically. And then Lady Tatiana is, Titania is Be Joyful. Okay, cool. It's interesting because that being in that wild pure heart, there's something in the sense that where it's like being in that space of, when I feel wild, I'm feeling like I'm hearing like free, you know, wild and free, and going into that freedom. Like if you're running, you know, wild with the wolves, you know, with the wild, with the nature and that sort of thing. And just bringing that nature of you about, or that sense of, what's the word? That sense of, curiosity, or that sense of wonderment, you know, that is coming through there. Okay, I just want to turn those around because they weren't. Okay, there we go. That sense of wonderment and mystery, and you know, that coming into that element. So I'm going to take that one, those two, pop that one there and there. with these cards. So anyway, the Ace of Swords is in reverse. So there's something about you maybe here with what I'm feeling initially is like not being in your truth or not walking in your own truth. And maybe you've got other people's thoughts in mind, not necessarily that they've projected them on you, but they may have, but we don't have to take that into consideration. It's about you making up your own mind is what I'm hearing with that. So as to where you want to go and coming from that pure heart space, you know, that space of love, pure love, not just so much unconditional love, because I don't know, for me, it depends on the situation, but it's going just love, you know, this is coming from a love-based, pure love base, or just, you know, love energy basically, without any sort of conditions on it, not even unconditional when you think about it, because you've just put a condition on it. Well, that's how I see it anyway. I mean, that's, like I say, this is, if it resonates with you, it doesn't. So anyway, so there's something about, you know, going into that pure heart space or that love space there, where, you know, you're in your own space and making your own decisions and your choices based on what you feel and your decision, basically based on your on how you feel it or see it, basically, is where they're going with that. The Queen of Wands is here. It's like, with this is you, you know, whether you're a male energy or a female energy, she's there, like, she's like, this is about you taking, you know, in a way, the bull by the hands, but it's not like so much the bull, but this is about you taking, you know, well, the bull by the hands is the horns by the at the end of the day, and, you know, and or the wheel of the car, basically, and putting your hands on the wheel rather than going like this and just free flowing it. But I feel like you are like that, but at the moment, and there may be something that's thrown you off, where you've like taken your hands off the wheel, and it's like of steering in your own direction on life and that sort of thing. It's like maybe you've thrown it, or you've been thrown out of throwing things out of context, or something has been thrown out of context, or you're just not taking being in your power, in your truth, basically, for you. And it's like, but I just want to leave that there for now. But the Queen of Wands, this is you, like I say, it's like, this is about you being in your truth, is create whatever it is that you create for you is what's going to happen, isn't it? So they're just saying this is about you bringing, you know, working with your magic, and you know, I'm hearing like transmuting for some reason, and turning things into, bringing things into a way where you are making the decisions for you in the way that you need to make them, not out of fear, not out of somebody else's say so, or whatever that is. And this, like I say, this is about you turning and being in your. There's a resistance in a way, or a fear in a way, or a not willing, like a not willing to see things from another perspective as well, and or to stand up for yourself in a specific way, whether this be within work, within a relationship, within home. It could be, you know, a work relationship, a person, or your actual workplace, and or could be something to do with health and well-being with a family member, or something that's going on in your community where like you're kind of like, oh, that doesn't feel right. But anyway, whatever that is, it's like there's something about this is about you looking at how it works for you. Then the 8 here, the 8 and the strength here, a strength card here, is like, you know, this is being realizing and remembering too that we are all infinite beings, and we're in an infinite space, in an infinite universe world. Really, when we look in the matrix of things, it's like, and we are an infinite being within that. So there are infinite possibilities and infinite ways of doing things, and so it's not narrowing it down so tight that you don't feel like you can get out of it. So anyway, this one here is having the courage. So whatever it is, this is about having the courage, really, to step outside of this 5 of Cups. So whatever is upsetting you, whatever is pissing you off, or whatever is like you're not willing to run with your intuition, or whatever it is that's like with upsetting you within relationships, or if letting or a relationship that is upsetting, it's about you now not letting looking at that and moving away from it, learning from it, but it's like not letting it, taking a look at it basically. And taking a rest from it, because we have the 4 of Swords there, and setting yourself, taking a break from that, and because there's that sense of not letting others or other things upset you in the way that it's in the way that and that it's so much so that it's going to like affect you in some way or form, your health, your well-being, your job, your decisions and things like that, where you may, block things up or hold things off. So there's something about change with this Two of Pentacles here, that's so finding some sort of balance with that. So I feel like energetically you're starting to be able to see an opportunity to like move away from that in a way, taking some positive steps. I'm hearing, even though it's like going, there's about finding that balance, and then I feel like you're able to do that and take the next step, because there's a window of opportunity, I'm hearing, that you see, or that you create or allow yourself to step into. And it's like, okay, I'm making a decision. I'm not going to let that, I'm not going to let that pee me off. Okay. 9 of Wands, it's like, yes, it's been a little bit of a battle, but I feel like you're seeing more now what you've been carrying that isn't yours, but also carrying what is yours. So, at the end of the day, you've got tied up in some sort of drama that is, it's kind of connected to you, because we kind of let things happen in a way subconsciously generally, and then we get bought into stuff, someone else's drama, and we ended up carrying that too. And so there's something about that recognition of that, but also, and because you recognize that, or know to realize that, or come to accept that, I need to be moving on and taking steps away towards wherever it is I need to go, without carrying anybody else's burdens as well as my own, and releasing that, that connection to that, basically. Being joyful in that space is going to help you get out of that, and move through that, whatever the way you look at it. But it's also taking a break and enjoying that break, and taking it because, I'm going to take it and I'm going to enjoy that break, and not being like, like deflective about it and go in the angry buzz space or angry bird space. It's just like, this is where they're talking about that pure heart, that wild pure heart, that sense of innocence, or that sense of newfoundness, that I've discovered something with and I'm just going to be free. I'm going to go out into nature. I'm going to go out to the beach or whatever. I'm going to just go in on a meditation, and I'm just going to do it because I can, and I'm not going to and I'm going to set myself free from it. That's part of that coming through with a love-based energy. Be joyful while you're in there, switching that perspective and allowing yourself to take some rest, because that's going to help, when we take a break, in a way. And let's not like just fall to the ground, basically, or do it till we drop, wait till we drop down and we're not well. And, so it's about shifting that mindset again, and working with being in your own power, looking at processing things, releasing things that serve you no purpose for your highest good, which is comes back to that. And I feel like in a sense, it's not letting yourself, this is about, turning that around into loving yourself and valuing yourself, and seeing, looking at from another perspective, what you've learned from that. So anyway, because the world really opens up when we start to see, when we start to work with things that, when we start to see a different picture. It just opens our whole world up, so we can go in and explore the world, because the world is, in the major arcana part of the deck is the last card. So it's like it's something it's coming to an end of a cycle. So I mean, it comes to an end of a cycle when we allow it to come to an end of a cycle. So, but there is something there, and it's like, but I'm hearing too, this is about opening your world up, expanding your energy. Taking that break can do that, okay, if we allow it. So there may be a bit of a resistance of going inside with a spiritual, going within with this high priest energy, because he's like the spiritual teacher, or not wanting to, or ignoring some, spiritual advice, you could say, from your higher self. And some of you may actually be connecting with spirit, so it's maybe like, there's a little bit of resistance there. It's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like this, in a way, is like resisting, or not taking the time, which is resisting in a way, just saying, to just to sit and be with self. So this is why they're saying is, don't wait till you're so exhausted before you take that rest. This is about you being in that joyful space and honoring yourself, okay? Communicating to yourself with love, and communicating. When we allow ourselves to communicate well with ourselves, that's the world opens up, and so we start to shift things when we communicate with others, okay? And also helps us to make you know, healthier choices, better choices, choices that serve us well, but in the flow of effect that serves everybody in your space well as well. So then with the spiritual, you know, journey here, or the spiritual teacher here, I feel like you've been guided in a way, but you maybe not looking at it as that, and resisting where that guidance is taking you. So it's like this deck here. I'm just going to use this deck to go over it and just quickly clarify some things. These cards, see what comes up to help move through, give a little bit more, shed a little bit more light, you could say. So let me see. I'm just going to shuffle these and give them a little bit of a, move that out of the way. So you may be needing to move or shuffle some things out of the way in order to get to where you need to get to. So this one here, I'm just going to pop that there. Normally I'll wait for something to pop out, but it's not going to work this time. And it's because this is like you shifting out of a space that what doesn't work or what didn't work before is, you know, maybe you need to adjust it. But not only that, sometimes it needs, things not necessarily need to be adjusted. Sometimes they do, but it's about being open to different ways of doing things as well. So here's the Ten of Cups. I mean, the Ten of Pentacles here. So there's something shifting with this Ten of Pentacles here. Is like bringing something to an end or a transitionary period in a way that you're seeing the success that you deserve, basically. I'm going to turn that around, because as soon as you start to shift your perspective, shift your energy, communicate in how you communicate and how you make decisions and things like that, and you know, and maybe I feel like you're stopping, you're holding off making decisions, basically. You know, things is going to start to turn around with this Ten of Pentacles in all areas of your life, and unless you're specifically focusing on one particular area, but at the end of the day, it's going to affect all areas of your life. Ace of Cups, you know, there's a new emotional beginning with you in the way that you are emotionally connected to things. I'm on saying it, but also, you know, beginning with, you know, you're seeing things from a different point of view with that one. The Hanged, oh my gosh, the Hanged Man is like, you know, this, you know, by dealing with whatever it is going on, or accepting or viewing, you know, taking into account whatever it is. It's not necessarily, it's an excuse, it's not an excuse, but it's an explanation sort of thing, and forgiveness and that sort of thing. It's kind of like when you turn that perspective around, or that in the way that you emotionally are attached to things, and you know, there are good emotions and there are not, and not so good emotions, you know, and the emotions are good, so it's just balancing them out and taking note of how we are, if we're deflecting or reflecting our emotions onto somebody or ourselves or whatever that is, but taking notice of them. But definitely here with the Strength card, it's like seeing things from another perspective, which helps with the strength, you know, helps us like gain more strength or perspective, or, you know, momentum, and, you know, which means it'll help us gain more momentum into where we're wanting to go. So the Devil card here with this Five of Cups here, you know, have the courage. This is like you breaking free from the chains of that which bond you, whether it's be, you know, your thought patterns, your feelings, your emotions and things, whatever is emotionally blackmailing you, or you, but it may be you. But it's like having the courage to break free of that, whatever it is. So, which could have been led to some, you know, addictions and things like that, or habits, or you know, belief patterns and things like that. That's like that you've kind of maybe, you know, subconsciously are there, you know. Some of you and some of us, it will be like that, and some of us will be like we're just not willing to break free of a belief pattern, even though that we know that it's there. So there's two or three things going on there with whatever that is for you, but there's definitely you breaking free and allowing yourself to experience the joy, or be joyful, give joy and receive joy. That's where they're going with that. So having the courage to break outside of what do you call it? There was a word that's coming there. From transcending, basically. Breaking free from things that stop you from transcending. From moving forward. From not even just forward. From moving, you know, taking the next step, wherever that is. With the Two of Pentacles, it's like, just looking at that, it's like taking the next step, whatever that is for you. the King of Swords, getting out of your head and being in your power. And I feel like there's something about being kind to yourself, because the King is like, he's fair, but he's quite stern as well. But he's fair with the judgment, or not the judgment. Okay, you will the judgment in the sense that if he's going to bring someone or something to justice, he's fair in that, in the discipline of how that happens. But it's like, on saying that, he's in his truth and he's in his power. He's making clear decisions as to what in the direction of what he wants and what he doesn't want to do, be given, have in his life. But he's grounded as well when he's doing that. So this is here, like with this Pentacles, interesting. It's, you know, a Pentacles that's underneath, but it's like grounding yourself and making a grounded decisions in how you move to step forward or step into the direction with a bit of balance of where you're wanting to go. Nine of Wands here is like, yeah, this is like stepping outside of that self-pity space there, and releasing your emotions and seeing what you're there, noticing what is there rather than what isn't there. So there's 3 cups that aren't full or half full, but there's a full cup that's been handed, that's sitting there in the background, all beside you, is just out of your reach, or you think it's all just out of your sight, but you're looking down, you're not looking at, looking peripherally as well, or even in the forward, because you don't even, you just see what is empty or what isn't working. So looking for what is working, with whatever situation that you are in, and it's like looking for what else is possible. Okay, now let's see what the Four of Swords. Oh, we got the Four of Swords here with the Queen of Cups, and in touch with her emotions. Okay, with her emotions, being and not wearing her her heart on her sleeve all the time. But this is about that's not necessarily a bad thing when we know when we're viewing what's going on and we're not holding on to things and things like that. But this is like she's in touch with her emotions, and she's understanding now where these things have come from, how it's going to, what she needs to do next, and things, and allowing herself to move forward, but also bringing in the energy and the emotion of joy, of love, of happiness and those sorts of things, and being able to laugh a little bit more, and switching the perspective about things, and on an emotional level, being in touch with ourselves, and through that, when we're in more in control, you could say, but more in control of that, but more mindful and aware of it is really the words. But there's a sense of that energy shifts, and we're more able and willing to be able to discern what is a thought and what is intuition. Okay, on that sense. So the World is the Lovers. It opens you up to be able to relieve yourself of a situation, to experience love again with a person, so with another person. So there's something about it could be that relieve yourself of the emotions that were attached to a past love situation, so you can experience new love, basically. So there could be somebody that's coming in, or there could be somebody that's that you don't even know of, that's coming through. And maybe some of you can sense somebody coming through, but it's just like, or you're calling in somebody, or you've put out for somebody coming, but you keep going, and so nobody's coming. It's like, hello, you're not going to be, but it's probably because of your perspective around things. So this Lovers here, I feel like there's the other side is that you're loving yourself more, and therefore allowing on an emotional level. So, a new love can enter into your life or be a part of your life. And so some of you may be feeling more open to, to somebody, to, being in a relationship. So for some of you, there may be somebody that's already in your life that is, wanting to create, bring a relationship with you, and so it's maybe this is, you processing that. For others of you, it may be that you are in a relationship, and that maybe you finding, realizing something about the relationship, so you may be moving out of one or into one, whatever that is. So but realizing that, I feel like mostly it comes back to you, in the sense that sense of love, experiencing love and or loving somebody, but mostly yourself, self-love. And then we have this one here, like the Two of Wands. It's so like, it's like there's something coming into a place where I feel like you kind of get it now. So, and you're like moving into a space of, okay, of where can this take me now that I've figured this out, you know, and or just looking out into the future. And then we have here the Six of Cups here. So there's a beautiful, it's either a union for some of you, but something's coming together, or you've sorted something else out with yourself and or with somebody else or something else. But it's like there's this sense of happiness and, you know, coming together, like you sorted it out. Like I say, it's like there's interesting, we have the Two of Wands, and it's like, you know, looking out into the future now, now that I've figured this out, or now that this is sorted out, now that I get that. So, because this is like, you've been on a spiritual journey. And you've been guided to a specific space or place, and as to how to, with your healing space as well. Wow, that's pretty cool. So there's a lot going on in there, you know, this month, and you know, so that's really cool though, because it's all about movement, and you know, if we're and with everything that's going on in the world at the moment, especially like here in New Zealand as well, and at the moment we've just gone into level 2 from level 3, going down. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty with a lot of us. I say, I speak to, you know, for a lot, but not everybody, I suppose. But I'm saying that it's like, you know, so it can bring up some things for us to look at within ourselves. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there for you now, Aries. So we leave you with lots of love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, adventure, and prosperity and abundance. Bye for now.